Alright, first things first. Before I even get into this video, I want to differentiate a hater and a person who criticizes. A hater is someone who just hates for the sake of hating. Like, for example, you'll upload a YouTube video, right? And you'll scroll down in the comment section and it'll just say something like, you sound so gay, you're fat. That's hating because they don't provide any criticism whatsoever and they're just insulting you. That's it. They're just giving you insult. There's nothing you can take from their comments except just insults and feeling sad about yourself. But a criticizer is someone who most of the time, honestly, he comes off as brutal and similar to like the hater. But the difference is that the critic actually provides value. Like instead of just calling average kid fat, he would call him fat, but he'll also tell him that he needs to like lose weight or like go into a calorie deficit and help him. And he might not say it exactly like that. He might come off as a bit more aggressive. He might be like, "Oh, your video's not that good. It's a bit boring, you know," and you might feel a bit offended. But you have to understand that deep down, when you look at the critics' comments or like when they're talking to you in real life, you will feel offended, but deep down you'll know if they're right. The hater, you can kind of tell that they just want to see you fall, see your downfall, and I'm differentiating them because a lot of people like to look at these critics and think to themselves and have this cope saying, "Man, they're just hating. Haters are gonna hate," and then they just still end up being the same person and they don't change for the better. That's why I'm differentiating it because you need to know the difference between a hater and a criticizer because they're two different people. And why you should listen to them is because they make your life better, man. Like a lot of people don't listen to their critics and as a result they fall off. But the people who do listen to their critics, they don't. And they have to get over, and when it comes to listening to critics, you low-key have to get over this barrier of this feeling of being offended and admitting that you're wrong, which is honestly not easier than said than done because no one wants to admit they're wrong. Not one. No one does. So you're gonna have to have guts and have control over your feelings to listen to your critics. Okay? Because if not, you're not gonna get ahead of life, dude. And I'll show you an example of criticism that actually comes from my channel. Alright, so this is actually from a comment section in my Iraq video. And if you go down, there's these like positive comments here, and I appreciate these comments, don't get me wrong. And then there's this comment. Not agreeing with Eric, but how can you hate on someone who fakes their vids but still puts more work in than you? You didn't even attempt retakes or editing for smoother transitions, and over half your video was just you playing someone else's. You brought no new information to the topic and instead just stated your opinion of how Eric is a moron, deserves anything that comes his way, and stupid, with no credibility from your side besides someone else's video that you played almost your entire 20 minutes to get views. A bit hypocritical in my opinion. So when you read that comment, you can sort of see how it would come off as aggressive and a bit hateful toward my video. But you can also notice that he provides criticism, honestly. And I won't lie, it did sting a little bit because I won't lie, he was right. He was right for a majority of this. I won't lie, for like the attempt at retakes, I did edit, but I guess I didn't edit enough or I didn't edit correctly. And he is right because I did my video is just playing someone else's, honestly, and I felt that way too when I was editing the video itself. And yeah, he is right. I do just give Eric insults like moron and call him stupid but like I do talk about some stuff he does, like faking his content and such. And when you go to the replies, all you guys, honestly, you saw this comment and thought this was hate. Like this is why I differentiated hate and criticism, because they come off as similar, but they're different things. And you guys, you were defending me, honestly, and I appreciate it. I honestly do. But then, I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, this is what I responded. Yeah, man, I get what you're saying here, but to be fair, I've seen a couple of YouTubers watch a video and react to it. It is true. I've seen like commentary YouTubers, they just watch a video and then they just give their comments on it. But I probably should have provided some more points, and I wasn't just hating on him, I was still providing reason at the same time. I'll improve on my future vids. Appreciate the criticism. Criticism, okay? And that's what I did. I looked at it. I realized that he was right, and I calmly told him that I feel like I did some things right, but and that I admitted that he was right, and I should have added more points instead of just insults. I also do say I wasn't just hating on him. And then he gives his comment. I respect your response to this type of comment. I wasn't trying to come off as rude, which I know I definitely did, but I look forward to see what kind of YouTube videos you produce in the future. Potentially calling out big YouTubers on your own. Keep working hard. You see, guys, I got the good ending. Instead of responding to this comments with like some insult or something, or like just deleting the comments or reporting it or something like that, I just responded to it calmly and realized that, yeah, this video was not perfect and I could have done better. And as a result, I got his respect. And I think you should all do that too, because if you're able to just listen and get over these feelings you get, because the feelings you get are normal, okay? Whatever feeling you're gonna get from criticism, it's gonna be normal, honestly. The thing is, you just can't act upon it, because if you act upon it, you're not gonna grow as a person. You're not. You really aren't. And I think maybe for some of you, I like to think that this leans towards more girls. I'm not trying to like stereotype genders here, but I feel like this comes off to girls, where your friends don't really like call you out on your bullcrap. They just tell you that you're so pretty, you're this and that. They just tell you like the sweet stuff about you. They just brush off the bad stuff about you, and if someone does say something bad about you, they'll probably be like their friends, like haters are gonna hate, girl. You go you, or something like that. That sounded so horrible. Let me try that again. Haters are gonna hate, girl. You do you. You know, maybe some guys have those types of friends too, because from my experience at least, the dude, my friends who are dudes, they are always brutal to me. They're just brutal. But my friends who are like girls, like low key, they're like more soft, and they never really like criticize me in any way. Like not in a bad way, like not because they're fake or anything, but it's just because they're nice and they're not trying to hurt my feelings, which I get. I'm sure some of you guys don't want to hurt the person's feelings when you're criticizing them, but I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have to take the risk, because there are times you will hurt their feelings, and it might suck, but if they have to hear it, they have to hear it. Okay, feelings are temporary. Growth is permanent. You have to remember that. Okay, yeah, they're gonna feel trash, but hey, you win some, you lose some. But actually, sometimes maybe they're like me and they'll actually respond well to the criticism. But a perfect example of people who cannot take criticism are authors. My creative writing teacher talked about this a lot. Like when it comes to like an author writing his book and taking like he has like a draft of a story and then he takes it to his editors, and the editors, they brutalize the story. Like the story, the parts that he likes, they just say you have to remove that. And then the author, who's like blinded by his emotions and his love for the story he created, argues with the editors saying, no, this is good, it's good, I'm not going to delete this, and then they find out the hard way when they publish the book that, yeah, the editors were right, I should have removed this. It's because the emotional attachment to the story itself, because they wanted it to be this certain type of way, prevented them from being able to take criticism from the editors and creating a better story. That's not just with books, dude. That can literally be applied to anything. You have to like think logically and like look at it from that perspective and say to yourself, yeah, maybe this guy is right. Maybe I do need to trim the beard. Maybe I do need to freaking trim the unibrow. And that's another thing, bro. You'd be surprised by how many dudes tell me I need a looks max, and like a teacher or a teacher that's a woman, they'll be like, "Oh no, you look fine. You don't need to change. Stop." Like, and then she'll tell the boys like stop bothering him. And it's like, no, they're right. I need to freaking trim this unibrow. I need to trim this beard because low key, if I grow this out too much, I'm going to look homeless. I don't want to look homeless in front of a camera. Like now, I look fine, but I definitely need to trim it up, especially under here. But yeah, listen to my critics. The reason I'm not listening to my critics in this case is not because I am offended by their comments, because as you can tell, I'm not. It's mostly because I just forget. And I don't know what method I could use to trim my unibrow, because I don't want to mess it up. But that's irrelevant. The point here is that if you just have this arrogant, egotistical, stubborn mindset, thinking you're right, you're perfect just the way you are, and that there's nothing wrong about you, which is also delusional. Don't act surprised when you don't level up in life. Average kid out.